Hello and welcome to another edition of the Royally Rich Lifestyle Show with me, Ian Pelham Turner.
And with me, Helena Chard. And we have three super guests joining us today, and a wonderful glamorous model, and lots of fabulous news.
So let's roll the titles and let's get on with the show. Well, we've got another packed show, but as always, we always like at the head of the show to thank the people who are really helping us to create this show every single week. So I would like to thank Helena Castrati from ALB UK TV. Can I thank Dr. Jacqueline Kerbeck from USA Global TV and Radio? Can I thank Londres TV and also a new one, Amaze TV from Africa. Helena, you've got a huge amount of royal news again, and we've been inundated. Don't ask us about Andrew.
No, I'm not going to be reporting on Andrew today. But what is exciting is we have King Charles, who is going to be in Rome tomorrow. He is travelling. He's going to be the first English reigning monarch to meet Pope Leo and to actually pray. They're going to pray together, which is amazing, in the Sistine Chapel. This is basically, since forever, since the Reformation, which is over 500 years. And it's really great because obviously it's putting religious differences aside and sitting down and putting it behind them. And great that King Charles is the person to be doing that. I'm sure he'll be praying for the environment, world peace, and everything. What are your thoughts, Ian? I think it's an amazing thing.
I mean, when you think about it, in the past centuries, royal members who were Roman Catholic lost their heads, literally. And so I think, the coming together of both the Catholic Church and really the English Church as well, is such a symbolic time, and this is part of Charles's really attempt at bringing all communities together. So it's a wonderful idea.
And I actually think it would even be more of a collaborative unity if there wasn't the sort of divisive nature of can women be bishops, etc. I think that's just the one main thing that's a stickler there, but all absolutely fabulous to see. I can't wait. I mean, I do know as well, you can actually go for a private tour if you book at 5:30 in the morning in the Sistine Chapel. Because if you think about Michelangelo and all the friezes and everything, amazing thing to say. I know that's sort of detour.
I thought you were going to say for a minute to have breakfast with the Pope.
Not quite. Because it's actually known as the most busy tourist place ever.
Yes.
But there's a special seat that's being created for the monarch, and obviously it's got his emblem on it, and it's a mark of mutual respect between himself and the Pope. And this will be used as obviously both heads of states, and this will be passed down as well to Prince William. So it's great for future and for successors, and there's a huge amount. I would say it probably comes down to spiritual fellowship. So that I find very exciting. And moving on to a naughty Prince Louis. He's not naughty, actually. He's full of character.
He is naughty.
We love Prince Louis.
Yes, he is
No,
naughty.
he's full of character. He's full of character, and everyone loves it. When you after any event, and you ask people, the general public, what did you enjoy? And everyone names Prince Louis because he's always sticking his tongue out or doing something he shouldn't be doing. But anyway, as we know, he's the youngest child of the Prince and Princess of Wales. He's just 7 years old, and he has been offered his first patronage. Now, Prince and Princess of Wales have turned it down, but in a very comical way. And the reason why this came about is Prince Louis is obsessed with conkers. I mean, absolutely obsessed. Apparently they find conkers everywhere, in his bed, in cupboards, and all his toys, in his clothes. And the World Conker Championships reached out and said, we'd love to have Louis as a role model and honorary patron. Now, I think there's something in it as well, in that King Charles helped them out and gave them lots and lots of conkers from the Windsor estate. So it would be a wonderful thing, really, in a sense. But education comes first. And obviously, Louis is too young to make his own decisions. But I think it's a very good idea for them to reach out, because now everyone knows about the World Conker Championships, and it raises a huge amount of money.
Absolutely.
420,000, and it supports the money. Actually, it's a charity which supports the visually impaired. I didn't know of it. So there you go.
Well, I just think it'll be bonkers giving him conkers.
Bonkers giving him conkers.com.
The reality, because, arming Louis with something that is really quite a dangerous thing in the wrong hands.
Oh, you'll be risk averse again, Ian. You'll be risk averse.
I just think that this is a thank goodness William and Kate, as soon as they saw it, probably rolled their eyes. And
they did. I think the funny thing, just to end, because I've forgotten the main key bit of the visit, they received a letter back, and it said on it that Prince Louis is concentrating on his studies. Oh. Boom, boom. That's how they responded, which I think is quite funny and apt. And apparently 256 people from 9 different countries compete, so it shows how big this competition is. There we are. Moving on. So this is something we actually did know about at the time where Mr. and Mrs. Trump had the state visit at Windsor Castle. So we had whispers of this, but we had to keep quiet because it was a top secret then. But the President of Germany, Frank-Walter Steinmeier, is going to be a guest of the King and Queen coming up shortly in December. So that's the 3rd incoming state visit this year. As I said, we alluded to it, but it's the first state visit from Germany in 27 years. And obviously we're going to get everything back on track, good relations. And I can't wait to see it. It's not going to be quite as lavish, I think, as Trump's state visit, but there's still going to be a little bit more fanfare. Yeah. I mean, obviously, as King Charles visited Germany, I think more than 40 times when he was the Prince of Wales. And it's, I think, his first state visit when he was, after the coronation in 23 was Germany also. So we'll have to see what happens.
I can't see the Chancellor of Germany being too enamoured being ridden around the estate in a carriage. But,
I don't think it's going to be quite as much as that. I don't think it's really
quite as that, is it?
I think he's also the Minister of Foreign Affairs. So he actually attended the coronation in 2023. There we go. So King Charles, very, very busy, still undergoing cancer treatment, but it's incredible the amount of work that he's doing. So, good for you, King Charles. Moving on, Unearthed. This is a new podcast, The Need for Seeds in the Gardens of Windsor. This is a palace podcast. King Charles involved again. This is to celebrate the 25th anniversary of the Millennium Seed Bank at Kew Gardens. King Charles has joined in. This is a special episode with Kate Blanchett, who is an ambassador for Wakefield and Kew. And Dr. Eleanor Brayman, the senior research leader, was there as well. But it's quite interesting that there are so many, there's something like 2.5 billion seeds, and that's obviously ensuring that all of these plants, etc., are safeguarded. And not going to be extinct. So His Majesty has been a patron of Kew since 2016, and obviously for more than 5 decades, as you know, Ian has been championing sustainable future.
He's been
I love that. He talks to his plants. I love it, and that's why they do so well. So yes, he visited the seed bank in 2000. Most recently visited in 2019, and I just think it's great. I mean, Kate Blanchett obviously is part also of Prince William and the Earthshot Prize. She's an ambassador and gets involved deeply. So good to see. There's lots of people doing podcasts we have been discussing. Finally, moving on. Actually, no, we have 2, don't we? One of the last slices of Queen Elizabeth's wedding cake. Now, we have reported on this before. I mean, there must have been thousands that have been sold, is to be sold at auction. Now this wedding cake, laced with alcohol, as we can see, I think the slice there that's going onto auction, but you saw how huge the cake was. It was something like 9 foot tall originally. Wedding was 1947, 20th of November. I can't believe that the cake's not in crumbs, to be quite honest. But anyway, this piece was given to Cyril Dickman, a popular member of the staff of the royal family, and also of Princess Diana, the late Princess Diana. And it's been stored for 77 years. So there were 2,000 pieces of cake. So there we go. Apparently it's going to be up for £150 to £200 at Hanson's auctioneers. It will obviously go for a lot more. I think there was a piece we reported on a little while ago that went for something like £3,000. I just remembered.
The other thing I was going to say, don't you bid for it, for goodness sake. I do not want a bit of mouldy cake.
I don't think I'll be bidding £3,000 for a mouldy cake. But interestingly enough, I think Jerry Layton, who's a royal fan, bid on the last piece of cake, if I'm correct. But he then decided to put it into auction to raise money for charity. And it got to a point that he just realised at the last minute he couldn't let go of that cake. And he rebought it.
Oh my God.
So he's paying a fortune. Anyway, isn't it mad? It's all in the name of charity, which is wonderful. So I think this may be the last time we're reporting on cake going to auction.
Don't you believe it?
2,000 pieces. I'm sure something will be dug out.
I don't know.
And moving on to today. I think it's today, isn't it? So the Berlin Process Summit. So King Charles has been at St James's Palace and met none other than Prime Minister Edi Rama, along with the other Western Balkan leaders. So how about that? Isn't that amazing?
Well, I mean, I've interviewed Rama in my time as well. I mean, he's a very different personality. That's for certain. But I wish we could have found a full-length picture of him, because he's famous to turning up at all events with white sneakers. So I wonder whether he's wearing his white sneakers today, or whether he's just wearing a pair of more conformist shoes. But he's a very good character. There's no two ways about it. He is very well known, as you can imagine, in Albania as well. And he's also a very good artist. And so a lot, he enjoys. I think he still enjoys painting at the same time. So there's a secondary, motive of meeting Charles, because they really both find peace and quiet actually creating art.
That's interesting. Thank you for that. The Berlin Process Summit as well. I think we'll have to report back on that. Not too sure. But it sounds very interesting. So there we go. That's a splatter of royal news.
Absolutely.
Until next week.
So we're just going to take a short break, and then we're going to have this plethora, all I can say, of talent from fashion designers this afternoon. Stay tuned. Welcome
back. And now we have the fabulous Frida from Frida London, a fashion designer extraordinaire. So pleased you could join us.
Thank you so much for inviting me. I was so pleased.
Oh, you're welcome.
When Mr. Ian, he gave me the card and he's inviting me to come here. I was so happy, very excited. I am very pleased with this.
So pleased. So we were just having a little chat, and it was very exciting to find out that you've always, from the age of, from a little girl, been excited and wanted to be a fashion designer.
I was a very little girl, and then I always take my scissors and cut lots of things around the house, like bed linen example. One day I took it and then I did for my mom. I cut a dress and then I was stitching by hand, but very little. And then she came home. She was so excited to see me like doing these things. And very slowly, when I get to age 13, I finish my 8 years of school. I didn't go to college, but I decided with my dad to go for sewing courses for 1 year. I left my house on this age for 1 year. I learned like basic things, take measurement, and then to cut dresses, trousers for men I used to do. When I came home, I came back home after a year. He bought a machine for me, sewing machine.
What age were you?
14 when I came back. I left house 13, and then for 1 year course, I came back 14 years old. He did buy a machine for me, sewing machine. And then I start stitching dresses for other people that come into my house at the beginning for a while. And then after that, I start working in the little company. It was very little on that time. I worked for 7 years. And then I left my village when I grow up in my village. I know my husband, we know each other, and then I get married on the age 20. I start working on the city when I lived with him for 7 years in an Italian company. We're doing denim for one brand called Eldo, SPA. After all these years, with 2 little girls, we decide to leave Albania for a better life, to come here in London.
When you first came to London, how different was it in London compared to Albania? And I think you were also saying that what really got you interested in the first place was when you were a tiny child, watching your grandmother, 70 years old, who was doing sewing by hand, and that's all she'd ever did. So just give us a little bit of a backstory on that and how you found London.
Okay. When I saw my grandmother, I was very close to her. I was the first child in the family, and always she kept me close. And there was a tradition in Albania to teach your little girls how to stitch, how to cook, how to clean. And then I was always after her. She used to do a lot of things by hand because she used to do this kind of work. They didn't have machines 70 years ago to have sewing machine at home. So she was very talented to embroider and to stitch for a woman, especially. And then always being after her, taking her scissors, always I was cutting even little things like making her so happy she can see me, and she always was like, you're gonna be a dressmaker. Since I was maybe 5, 6 years old, something like that. I don't remember exact the age. Then after, I think I took it after her. Always I was with my grandmother, always. That's why I decided, and I was very passionate to do this job.
I know Albania is a modern country. You know, a lot of people have got this perception that that it's still in the past, and it's not. It's obviously a very thriving, very ambitious, very fashionable country. So when you came to London, how did you feel?
It was very different. Of course, I felt like I came in different country, different life, different of everything. We used to live in Bayswater. On that time, I didn't know a lot of English, just a little bit. We have to meet someone, interpreter from Albania. And then she just asked me, and she said, what kind of the job do you do? I told her, I'm a dressmaker. She said, don't worry, you're gonna start work very soon. I said, okay, I'm so happy, but how? She said, I know a woman from Macedonia who speaks perfect Albania. Yeah, and then I went with her to the company. They just gave me a trial. I used to work for British Airways.
Really?
Yes, we're doing suits for them, yeah, on that time, at the beginning of starting here. They loved what I do, because I'm careful when I work, to be honest. I love to do beautiful things and very good finishing of. They trust me, they put me for sample machinist, for Yega, for Jasper Coran, lots of different designers, which I don't remember all of them now. I was so happy on that company, and I left because I had a son after 10 years of my daughter. And then I was off for a while, only 3-4 months. And then I found another job with another designer, which she just started the beginning of her, she was passionate about fashion as well. We both found each other, and we worked together very hard to have an amazing dresses, beautiful, which lots of celebrities, they used to come to this company, little company in Notting Hill. And I grew up with that, to be honest, so much on my job, on fashion.
So were the dresses for these people, these renowned people, are they bespoke dresses?
Bespoke dresses, yes.
Gosh.
They came to the shop, I take measurements, they choose whatever they like, the color, the styles, and of course we put things together. And then they were so happy.
Did you ever take any of your grandmothers, like doing stitching by hand, or was it always all the machine?
I don't, to be honest, because it was so long ago, very long ago. So,
But I mean, we are talking about major stars. That you're being very modest, you know, just saying, you know.
NDAs, you know the NDAs.
So people like Salma Hayek, Gillian Anderson, Courtney Cox, Claudia Schiffer. My goodness me! So, did you individually style each one for them? I mean, do you create the perfect dress for the body shape?
of course. That's why I was with her, just for this, because we have always, they love bespoke pieces. And I take the measurement, I do the first fitting for them, and then the dress is going off, like, to them. So all what we do on that company. And then slowly, because I'm living in Notting Hill for such a long time, in a beautiful Portobello market, vintage market,
Yes.
inspiring me. And then I have my girls, they love modest wear. They love colors, always. They try, and actually they give me a good idea, my daughter, because they're trying to buy things online, but some short, some, you know, they couldn't find for her height, for them height. They are both very tall girls. And then they give me a beautiful idea, Mommy, why don't we do modest wear only? Which I do now for such a long time for my private site, Frida London. I do lots of beautiful things, actually, and I see lots of women, they come in, they are so happy to measure them, to do what they want, the color, the style. Example, we have 2 styles, and then we move the dress and the top, like, you know, to swap, to create a dress, to create jumpsuits.
I'm curious, how long would it, I mean, I know it's different each dress, but is there a rough time it takes to make a beautiful bespoke dress?
Just to start and finish, you need definitely 1 day to do beautiful things. Because I work in silk, you know, I work in silk. But obviously it depends on the style as well, you know. And you have to have your clients to do first fitting, which like some of clients I have from Albania, I just ask them, can I have the measurement? And then I work on the mannequin.
Yeah.
And so far, so good. They're so happy, you know. I send everywhere. I sell dresses from my Instagram. In Germany, in Italy, a lot. In Albania, of course, all the time. Which...
How can people get in contact with you? You're talking about your Instagram, so just name the different places where people can actually get in contact with you.
Always just from Instagram, from outside, from Germany, from Italy, from Albania, only from Instagram. But here in Notting Hill, because I'm for nearly 29 years, and then I have lots of clients around, and then I do the service, actually. I go to their houses, I pin whatever they want for alteration. And then some people, you know, they are very busy and they ask me to go to take the measurement for dress. They show me what they want, always from my Instagram.
So you're known as Frida London, is that,
Frida London.
Your handle?
Yeah,
Is your
Frida
Instagram?
London, yeah.
That you're doing presumably with your own private work for Muslim women today, how easy is it for them to still feel, and this is coming from someone who I try to sort of allow everybody to sort of dress as they want to. How important is it that Muslim women still feel in fashion as well? Because of the cover, of being covered in the
I
first
don't
place.
stitch only for Muslim
Okay,
women.
okay.
What I do is for everybody.
Yeah,
Okay.
so it's
That's the
inclusive.
main, that's why my daughter, she gave me this idea.
Okay.
And it's very popular now, the modest wear, to be honest. It's
Yes.
really popular because you do a simple dress. You can go to work with this simple dress. But if you want to go for evening, you can use the same dress, put jewelry, a bit of makeup, and then you look great.
So how would you describe, perhaps that's the better way of doing it, how would you describe modest dress?
Modest dress.
So from my understanding, you make these wonderful designs, like quite simple, maybe stylish dresses, which you then can dress up to make it evening.
Yes.
So you could, for instance, wear it to work even, and then you have a function, so you quickly dress it up.
Because I do that myself. If I go to, when I used to go so much to work, because now I'm working for my private, what I have, I just wear always long dresses. And then sadly, after 5 o'clock, finish work, I have with me jewelry, put one jewelry on, brush your hair, and then you dress up straight away. But I think this way, I don't know if
Yeah,
I said
I
it.
get it. It's,
Yeah?
it's a really
It's
it's
super
good.
easy, very beautiful, and the colors I make all the time. And always I work in silk.
Beautiful.
In silk. But when I have order, they want for everyday example, whatever they want, I can go for.
Would you think, is there like one style that you could highlight that's something that people will always ask for?
I have few styles.
A few styles, so you
Yes, I always sell them really well. Always. Always. But
so good that
yeah,
it's
I sell them
popular.
all the time actually. And I just saw them some on the, I have it my Instagram, so I just to show.
What's your thoughts about the future? What is it? What are your hopes? What would you love to achieve?
Yes, I love this question, which I am working on it, to be honest. When I start now more to work for myself on Frida London, I'm trying to go like what we did on fashion show. I met Ivanka
Yes.
and the other girl, Shala.
Yes.
She actually invited me to go to this show. That's why I am moving a little bit out of my work to meet more people, because I can, if somebody likes, I have lots of different styles, but my top style, I want to sell to the shops. I am able, like if anyone asks me, I love this dress, I want 20, 30 pieces, 50 pieces, I am able to do them straight away. Like straight away. It takes a bit of time, but I am able to do it. This is my goal.
Just from a point of view, so networking is key for you now, by networking and meeting lots of people like Ivanka and everyone.
Yes.
In fact,
like
that's how we met.
you, yes.
Yes, so
Yes.
it's, you can just show that's how
Yeah,
you'll
because before I used
get
to
your
work
brand
more
out
to
there.
bring up my brand, like to do a little bit more, because still always this, you never can
It's
stop.
beautiful. I mean, the fashion show that you
It was
presented
really-
was incredible.
It was nice, thank you.
What would you say to women in Albania right now coming to London? What advice would you give them if they want to sort of really sort of follow what you've been doing?
Like, of course, I love London so much, and here is the fashion, here is everything, but likewise in Albania I start now, it's amazing. Fashion and everything, and people are dressing up, and it's amazing back home as well. For me,
I was just going to say, did you find London welcoming? Has there been a lot of support in London?
Of course, I did, and then I grow up here in so many different ways. It really did. It did give me so much opportunity in so many different ways. So I really love London. But same time, I want to be honest, I love Albania so much too.
Of course,
So much, yes.
of course.
Yeah.
It's a great country.
It's a beautiful
I've
country.
visited it several times, and so
It's a beautiful country.
It is,
To be honest, I want to speak a lot about my country. I miss it so much.
really.
The people there are amazing. They're working hard.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Very hard, yes.
Absolutely.
I miss my country so much.
Oh, said with real passion.
Yes, I do.
Frida, where can people see your work? Is there an exhibition coming up? Is there a catwalk somewhere? As you know how we saw you in that wonderful church.
So I have again now on 28 with Ivanka.
Yeah.
We're
Okay,
going
you're
again
with
to this
Ivanka.
event. I'm preparing for that. I'm
Yes,
so
yes.
busy at the moment.
Oh.
Yes.
I'll go there and then I follow each event. Like if I hear and then I ask, I'm trying to go, you know, because otherwise,
Excellent.
yeah.
It's a very high-powered event.
Yes,
28 and
yes.
29.
Thank you so much. It was
Oh my
really
God, thank you
fabulous.
so much.
And your designs.
Thank you. I'm so pleased.
And we'll have you back on again and
Yeah.
talking more about your fashion again, because
I love to.
you're the
This is
perfect
the first
Albanian
time.
for this show.
I think also it's making me think about, you know, dressing, that simple dress that you can dress up in the
Simple
evening.
dress. It's
I
like
feel
that because I have
inspired.
experience of that. I should
Yeah.
speak more, but
Thank you so much.
you're welcome.
Thank you.
Okay, stay tuned. We're just going to take a short break, and then we've got another fashion designer coming on.
Welcome back. And now we have the lovely Katarina Orlowska with us, fabulous fashion designer. Thank you.
Hello, thank you so much.
So, you first started in Ukraine, and you were just telling us about your grandmother, and that's what really started to inspire you. But already you're a lawyer, so not only are you beautiful, you're clever as well, by the sounds of it. What really gave you the inspiration to move into fashion?
When I was lawyer, I like it. I was in a politics, and then when my son was born, I feeling it's not right way, and I inspired. I remember all my childhood. I with my grandmom always sewing, embroidering. It was very best time in my life, and I think probably I need to change something in my life. And one day I'm looking in Instagram and see it was a fashion designer just start, and I said, oh, probably I need to. It's my way, and I started. Learning about fashion and looking for a lot of schools, and finished all the school, and then I got my collection in Ukrainian Fashion Week, but I always want to make something to make people happiness, and wedding dress it's most important dress in life for women.
I should just say, just out of shot, we actually have a model who's beaming from ear to ear this afternoon. I think she's already chosen her wedding dress.
I think she's modelled quite a few dresses, something tells me, lots of them. So wedding dresses obviously are your speciality, but also any kind of celebration dresses, I'd imagine.
Yes, I make evening dresses as well, but I like make wedding dress because I got a unique technique of corset. Corset it's usually very feminine, and wedding dress it's when I'm looking for a bride and their eyes shine, it's make me very happiness too, and I like it's. I'm inspired for flowers, for because it's very feminine dress.
Yeah.
Do you have a certain fabric that you prefer to work with?
No, it's not just satin. I like a lot of details, and my client they said, oh, you're doing a lot of details, a lot of embroidering. It's very unusual because I got part of the national wedding show as well, and I got always review, oh, your dress look like absolutely different for another one. And I like it because I'm doing absolutely different styles. Now I got 60 dresses, different styles, absolutely. Yeah, I'm doing bespoke dresses.
Yeah. As I understand it, the only bit of fashion I do know is that sometimes couture dresses are built around a corset, and that once the corset is actually perfect, then you can build the whole shape around it.
Yeah, it's always, and for bride it's very important because before wedding they lose weight, and then you can change your size for plus or minus. It's absolutely okay, and I like it because if corset, it usually will be sitting the best.
Did you obviously studied fashion, but have you studied fashion here as well in the UK?
Yeah, here I'm fashion student. I'm studying here, and I finished it. I think it's all fashion schools, private schools in Kiev, in Ukraine, and here I got beautiful opportunity to be student in London in university. I'm really happy.
Obviously, we want to support Ukrainian people at this time as well. So do you think more fashion designers, if they have issues where they live at the moment, they should come to London because London is a welcoming city for Ukrainians?
I think London got very kind people. Not London, all Great Britain got very kind people with a big heart. And it's really much appreciated for your support, for everything what you are doing for Ukrainian people. And of course, I think London, it's a capital of the world because it's a fashion capital, and it's really a really nice place for fashion designers.
Do you find that you promote your dresses by collaborating with people? So you do, catwalk and work with various
sure.
people?
I got part of, I think, all the national wedding show in Birmingham and London, Excel, and Manchester now will be on this weekend. I will have exhibition in Manchester. It will be just first time. And I got a part of all small exhibition near the London in Birmingham as well. I got a lot of clients from Birmingham, and now for me I think it's the best way because you can touch for your client, for your bride, and you can show your quality because my corset, it's very unique, and it's my heritage. My grandmom teach me to make it.
Do you you've obviously got a big collection of dresses, certain styles. Is there like a particular dress that people always will go for, or is it lots that people choose?
My dresses, I prepared a collection for National Wedding Show because it's always catwalk. It's a huge exhibition with 20,000 people come for National Wedding Show, and I'm always prepared new dresses for National Wedding Show. Also, now I got idea, and it's not just idea, it's will be project about Ukrainian women, I'm about heritage Ukrainian and heritage British. I was in a Liberty Market. And a Liberty Fabric, they got was exhibition. They got a lot of fabric with flower, and I like flower in my garden. Usually, a lot of flowers, and said, "Oh my God, it's this fabric. It's very inspired me." And I got a project about Ukrainian woman, because it's very strong woman, and she is always any situation she can bloom. And it will be project She Who Blooms, about Ukrainian woman with British heritage fabric. And now I got support for Queen. I got a letter from Buckingham Palace.
Oh.
I got support of Ministry of Cultural and Ukrainian Culture Ministry and Embassy as well.
Congratulations.
Thank you
That's
so
really
much.
great.
Thank you.
So how long does it take to actually, I mean, the dress that we're going to see shortly, how long would something like that have taken to actually design? How long does it take to actually create a collection as well?
If my client come to me and order dress, it's usually 2 months. It can be shorter if it should be more quickly, but usually it's two months. I prepared, and for new collection, National Wedding Show, it's usually one for 6 months. It's March and October, and I prepared in.
So how many dresses would you be creating for a collection? What's this?
It's usually around 10.
10.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of work.
Yeah, lots of work.
Of course, but it's beautiful. It's very nice work. It's very. It's make me more happiness, because when you're looking mom or bride crying when they are looking in the mirror, it's always my heart.
Oh.
Yeah.
What's your hope for your brand, or your hope for the future with everything you're doing?
I hope open a big store, and with my dresses, and I hope open a lot of small shops for all Great Britain.
How do you see your brand? Well, how would you describe it? You know, if people just sort of say you're a designer, but what, you know, how would you describe the look?
My brand name is Art of Couture, and it's all about art, all about couture. I doing a lot of details, a lot of embroidering, a lot of love in my dresses.
And I think, you know, one of the quotes that I saw about you is to say that your garments must speak. Just explain that.
It can be because it's to make people happiness, and dress. It's always unique. Yeah, because it's a wedding dress. It's most important dress in our life, and it can, yeah, because wedding gone, but pictures with the dress, it's always stay in our.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Well, we're just going to take just a short break for a second, and then we're going to show one of Katerina's incredible dresses. Stay tuned.
Katerina, that was absolutely stunning. Beautiful dress.
Thank you so much.
Tell us a little bit about it, starting with what's the fabric?
It's a satin fabric. It's such a new dress. I just prepared it for National Wedding Show, just for this new collection. And I like satin, and my client also like satin with embroidering. It's now it's most popular dress. It's I got a lot of orders now for this dress. Why I would like to show it.
Yes, of course. I mean, it's just a really classic shape. It's beautiful, but you've got the detail of the sparkles. And
Yeah, and now it's a very modern corset. Yeah, and
What is the material as well?
it's a satin.
It's a satin.
Yeah, it's a type of satin.
Okay.
so lovely. So that's probably the main dress that you're going to be promoting. I
Yeah,
can
now
see.
now it's
What would be the average price of one of these dresses?
this dress 2,500 cost.
Okay, which is very reasonable for wedding dresses these days.
I would say you probably, depending on if people want to add lots of bits and maybe they want you to change it slightly, I'm sure the price varies.
No, it's absolutely okay because sometimes people I create like more puffy skirt, but sometimes people would like to change from A-silhouette or mermaid style. That's
Gosh,
absolutely.
that's
Yeah.
incredibly reasonable. I have to
But
say.
it's okay if people would like to something change. It's absolutely okay.
Yeah.
It's my design, but it's her dress. It's very
And
important.
what about your couture dresses? What prices do they start from as well?
All dresses,
couture,
all
all
dresses
couture,
start around 1,200 base.
Yes, very good.
Goodness me.
And how can people get in contact with you now?
I got Instagram page, it's Art of Couture. I got WhatsApp and my website, it's Art of Couture Co.uk.
Excellent.
That's so lovely.
Well, thank you so much for your time
Thank you.
today.
Thank you.
It's been fabulous talking to you again. And good luck. And hopefully we'll see you again soon.
Thank you so much for inviting me. I thank you for got me.
Oh, you're more than welcome. See you again.
I much appreciate it. Yeah,
Bless
thank
you.
you.
Okay, so now we're just going to take another short break, and we're waiting for a lady to come in who's just rescued a swan, but the swan's not coming into the studio, don't worry. Stay tuned. Welcome back, and now we have this wonderful entrepreneur, Farah London. Welcome.
Thank you for having me. It's such an honour to be here today.
And you just come from rescuing a swan.
I have. I know. You wouldn't believe it. I even have my swan food with me.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah, it's my swan food. It's got the pellets, the bread, everything's in there. But yes, rescuing a swan. I'm actually so proud and honoured to be part of an organisation, and we're a group of volunteers, and we look after all the wildlife birds in our area. And I have a beautiful swan family of 11. So that's mummy, daddy, and 9 cygnets. Oh. And then obviously I look after some other families as well. And one of them, actually, we've been trying to get one of the baby swans for 3 days. Unfortunately, it had a fishing wire around its beak, so it couldn't eat, and it was trapped. So we've been trying to get to it and couldn't find it. And then today we were looking for it, couldn't find it. And then as I was feeding my swan family, I saw it. So it was actually part of my family because it hasn't been there for 2 days because they're teenagers now, they're coming and going. So then I had to immediately make the call, and yes, we managed, someone from the Swan Sanctuary came, we managed to get the cygnet, and then they cut the fishing net, and it's a happy ending.
You have to be very careful.
I love that story.
I actually won a major award once. Very quick story. It was a story when I was in Scotland, and we got a call one day at the newspaper that I was working for at the time, saying that every day that a group of swans, a family of swans, used to walk around the side of a house, all the way up the garden path, and walk down the road. And so we thought this is a great idea, to sort of show these photographs. And then it turned out that the son of the owner also was a scuba diver, but he had all the gear like flippers and that type of thing. So I thought this would be a very funny picture to actually have him with his scuba gear and his flippers walking in front of all these swans. Stupid idea at the time, and I thought, nothing could go wrong. And up to that time, the family was saying, you know, that these swans are very placid, you know, that there's no problems at all. But obviously something spooked the swan, and the swan turned on this guy. And literally, I had photographs of him in midair. The swan is fully stretched out as well, just about to peck his bottom with a thing. And of course, he was with his flippers as well, so he could hardly move. And I won a major award.
And you want to,
So what does
fantastic.
that
Great
mean?
matches.
Does that mean that the swans were spooked to be acting like that? Because they're not normally going around.
No, probably. I think they were probably a bit on guard because you know, there's this thing standing there in front of him.
Ian Turner.
Well, actually,
wanting them
and
to
the worst
perform.
part of it, after this guy managed to run off with his flippers on still in this long grass.
You got all of this.
I got all of this, and then the swan turned onto me, and I thought, oh my God. Anyway.
Yeah, no, they're generally very placid and gentle, you know,
Yes.
members of the public. But obviously, something definitely spooked them. So
Absolutely, it was probably me. Anyway,
Moving on to the interview. Sorry about that, Farah.
I love swans. I could talk about them all day long.
So you are a leader in the political field, business leader, and we were talking earlier about that we don't feel there's enough women, well, I don't feel there's enough women in Parliament, in business in general. And what are your tips? What would you say? What advice would you give women?
To be honest with you, one of the biggest problems that we have is women don't put themselves forward. And that's a big issue. And it could be a number of reasons, whether they feel they're not experienced or they feel that, you know, they couldn't add value. And they're wrong. They really can add value. I think a woman is you know, I've said this before, a woman is a pillar in society. And women have been proven to be very, very good leaders. And that's why women should put themselves forward. We should encourage them to run. And it's a fact that there are more men in Parliament because they always put themselves forward. I remember, if you look at the statistics, I learned from the Conservative Party that when they held these events to, you know, try and bring candidates forward, they said the next day they would be inundated by applications from the men. But the women would take 3 to 4 to 6 months to start coming in. And I just feel we've got to look at ourselves. Why are we not seeing more women in Parliament? What do we need to do to make it more friendly? I definitely see a lot more younger women coming forward, which I think is great because we do need to have younger people in politics. The fact that people can vote as young as, I believe it's to 16 now, so we need to encourage more younger voters to actually be more invested in their communities and put themselves forward as councillors and then take it forward to running for seats for the Parliament. So I really do hope we encourage women to step forward. And it doesn't matter even if they're not business leaders, even if they're mothers. They're engaged in society. They know at the grassroots the problems that are happening. So therefore, they're ideal to represent their community.
Great.
What inspired you at the very, very start of your career to actually do what you do now?
Which part, politics or business?
It's one and the same, isn't it, really? Because,
Share it all with us.
Yes.
Share your career highlight.
I would
Plural.
say I've always been highly motivated, and I've always seen my father be an entrepreneur, and I've just always had that passion in me. I always say in life, you have to have passion and purpose. If you don't have passion and purpose, you know, you become lost. And the reason it's so important is because when you're passionate about something, that's what's going to get you up in the morning. And when you have purpose, that's what's going to drive you towards something. So anything I do, even if it's swans, I will have passion about that, and I will do it to the best of my ability. I never like to do anything 20 or 30%. I'm going to give 100%. So if I do commit to something, I'm going to give it my all. And you need a reason to want to wake up in the morning. And I always encourage people, don't always go for jobs which are going to make you money, because they're probably the ones where you're going to be miserable and hate waking up. do something that you're passionate about, because you're going to want to wake up every morning to get there and get started. And I think that's really important.
Perfect. And I know that you've got many accolades to your name. Do you want to share those with us?
Yes.
We're throwing you in a little bit here, but
No, so I do have DTSG at the end, which stands for Dame of the Order of St. George, which is a very old organisation actually, and it was actually founded by a king in Hungary many years ago. So it's got a beautiful history, and it's an absolutely wonderful organisation, the Order of St. George, because they're a charitable organisation. They do charity all over the world, helping organisations, and also they've raised a lot for Ukraine as well. So they've heavily invested, a group of incredible people who really want to do some good in this world. So I really, like I said, I like to put myself forward and be involved in organisations and purposes that really impact the world and bring change.
You're travelling constantly around the world. What type of issues are women facing across the world that you come in contact with and help and support, in business?
What actually inspires me when I travel is how many women I see in business. And that's really brilliant to see, because there's a lot more women in business than there used to be. If I go back 15 years, 16 years ago, when I used to go to South Korea, for example, or even China, you didn't see women in those boardrooms. They were making tea or they were at the reception. Now, if you go to South Korea or China, the women have the top seat. They're the CEOs, they're the vice president of these organizations, they're around the boardroom. And I just think that's incredible. And when I go to Latin America, I'm seeing the same. So I actually am getting very inspired seeing women take that front seat at the forefront. I just held an event last week in Mexico City, and it was a government delegation from Shenzhen to Mexico. And the deputy mayor was a woman, and one of the ladies from the government that came, she was a woman. And, there's a wonderful picture of an MOU signing ceremony, and we had obviously a lady leader who was a business lady who is signing the MOU with the government lady, and then the two people witnessing were women. And that's just beautiful to see, because if you go back 20 years ago, they all would have been men. And I'm really enjoying seeing more diversification, definitely seeing a lot more women coming on international business visits. But one thing I do have to say is a lot of women still are scared to travel. And I really want to encourage women, get out there, get on a plane, It's such a big world out there, and you really need to be confident in yourself and not shy away from international business travel. I think another way we need to encourage women. I met a lady the other day, and she's in charge of international business for her organisation, which is a family business, but she has a fear of flying, and she's too scared to go to new countries. So I really hope that, a lot more women do put themselves forward for these positions and do start travelling more.
You also work with social justice platforms.
Yes.
I was very interested. So you're in, mental health and wellness and homelessness.
Yes.
If you can share.
I've been volunteering for over probably 27 years now. Give away my age, but a long time. And when you work at the grassroots, you really see the problems in society. And that's why I really love to volunteer, because you can actually work with the people who need immediate help. I call it the domino effect. If you can change one life, that life will go on to change others. Often a lot of charities try and focus on the hundreds of thousands, but what you don't realise, it actually starts from the bottom, being able to change one, and then it just leads on. So I've been working with, trying to help people in a homeless community, and a lot of people just don't understand it. We can 100% eradicate it, When we had the pandemic, we were picking up homeless people off the streets and putting them into these hotels. We were housing them. And what people don't understand is two types of homelessness. You've got the streetwise, who are long-term, who have been homeless for a long time, could be 20, 30 years, and it's now a way of life for them. And then you've got the rough sleepers who have literally just become homeless. And what's important to understand is, I explain to anyone, everyone is 3 paychecks away from being homeless. It can happen to anyone. If you lose your job and then you stop paying your rent or your mortgage, you're going to, be turned on the street, if not sofa surfing. And that's just, people's patience. Sleeping on a sofa doesn't last long. And then before you know it, you're made homeless. And talking about women, one of the biggest concerns is when a woman becomes homeless on the street, because you've got 2 to 3 weeks until she's raped, turns to drugs, alcoholism, and then that woman that you met 1 month later is destroyed, completely destroyed. So that's why a lot of charities, when they find homeless women, try to get them off the streets immediately, because it's not a good world out there.
As an entrepreneur, what are there general points that you talk to people when you're advising them about setting up a business?
Absolutely. I encourage them to be bold, to take risks, and really challenge the narrative. And I always encourage them to do international business, because, it's great. I really love it when people say, I want to be an entrepreneur. It's beautiful, because that's a journey that they're starting. Being an entrepreneur is a journey, and it takes courage. You have to persevere every day, because there's going to be days you wake up and you don't know what you're doing, or you're lost, and you have to find your way, find direction, and you have to constantly innovate yourself. Because let's say you have a client, you've got 20 other people trying to get that client. So your reputation is everything in what you do. So I love encouraging people to definitely take risks and be more bold and just put themselves out there and represent who they are, who their brand is. Branding is so important, as you know.
Absolutely.
Have you always been like this? I mean, you've got this very, you're great, can-do attitude. I mean,
I get it from my dad, absolutely.
From a very young age?
Yes. My parents laugh, they look at me, they tell me stories of when I was younger. And I'd say I definitely get it from my dad. My dad's very positive. He was always, just always saw the brighter side of life. And I'm definitely my dad's girl all day long. And even, the stories that they tell me from when I was a child, even talking to the headmaster, putting my hands on my hips, looking up to him. He was so tall. I mean, I was quite short then. And my mum tells me a really great story. When I was 5 years old, we were walking on the street side by side, and she was walking on the side of the cars. And I stopped her. I said, "No, Mum, you stand here. I'm going to stand here to keep you safe." And she still talks about that to this day, that at that age, you were trying to protect me, not the other way around. So I think, yes, it's definitely embedded in me to serve and protect. But I've definitely had inner confidence. But my parents gave that to me because they always encouraged me to do what I want to do. They never said no to me, and they always let me push and excel and make my own mistakes. I could say to them, "Oh, I'm moving to this country," and it was like, okay. They never said, "No, you're too young," or "No, what are you going to do?" They said, "Okay," because they just knew she's going to be fine. So I think that just gave me that confidence to do what I want.
Now, very shortly, next month, you're with this massive African event as well. Please tell us about that.
Yes, I'm actually going to 2 events in Africa. I'm going to the G20 Business Summit, the B20, which will be happening in South Africa, which is super exciting. And then straight after that, I'm actually going to the Global Entrepreneurship Festival in Ghana, which is incredible. It's going to host the president of Ghana as well. And they're bringing together over 10,000 business entrepreneurs or investors, 10,000 people who are interested in business, who are coming from all over the world, all over Africa, to have 2 days of networking, connecting, fashion as well. but really engaging in business. I'm really excited to be there because I love Africa. I think Africa's a great continent, but they're really business savvy and there's a lot of young entrepreneurs there. So I'm looking forward to being there, connecting, meeting and seeing what Africa has to offer.
How can entrepreneurs meet you to actually go to this event?
Just go to the Global Entrepreneurship website and everything's there. We're ready to welcome you. You can contact me directly. You can go on my website, faralondon.com. But we're ready to welcome you to the festival in Ghana. And it's a place to be whether you're an inspiring entrepreneur or if you're an established entrepreneur, it's a place where you can really meet great people from all over the world and make great connections and really help establish your business, promote yourself, and most importantly, grow your business.
Fabulous. I mean, goodness me, a huge amount of success. I'm feeling very inspired.
You're too kind. I just believe you need to believe in yourself, whatever you're doing. Like I said, I give 100% to everything that I commit to. So therefore, I just lead with passion, and that's why I love it. If I could inspire you, that means so much to me because I'm still on my journey. We're all still on our journey. I don't know which way it's heading, but I will take every single step, pick up all the breadcrumbs that God gives me, and do it every day smiling.
And obviously you have political leanings as well.
Yes.
Is it something that you would really take seriously enough to actually become perhaps a member of parliament or have some institution like that?
Well, I have run some elections, which I'm proud of, and they really grew me as an individual because I threw myself into the lion's den.
Is it tough during an election for someone like yourself to actually, or did you find it inspiring?
It was a challenge because number one, when I ran for Mayor of London, it was during a pandemic, so it was tough in a sense. You throw yourself into the ring and to get noticed. I was independent, so you're not with a political party, so you're really fighting for your voice to be heard, but it really teaches you to put yourself forward and put yourself out there. And what I really loved about it was connecting with the communities directly, and I did. I went to all 33 boroughs, I knocked doors, I spoke to businesses, and that really actually taught me a lot about the problems that we're facing and what people need help with and how we can actually help London grow and be the incredible city that it is. So do I have aspirations? I mean, I love politics all day long. I love it. International politics, politics in our country. As they say never. I can't dismiss it, but at the moment, am I actively pursuing anything? No. But who knows?
And obviously, as an entrepreneur again, London at the moment is not in its best financial circumstances.
In many circumstances.
In business as well. What would be your advice to London right now to sell itself to the world?
We need international partners. London is London. London will always be an attractive market. It is one of the major cities in the world, and it always will be. People want an address in London. So we're always going to attract people wanting to come to London. It's a major gateway. But what we need to do is really attract foreign direct investment. We need to attract business-friendly policies to encourage people to come here. We could have a thriving tech city. We can have thriving manufacturing. We could do so much. Even when I say manufacturing, I mean things like indoor farming, vertical farming. I mean, there's so many places in Greater London that have great spots, great warehouses that can be converted to indoor farming. They did it in the Netherlands. Now Netherlands is the biggest producer of indoor farming to the world. The industry is worth over, I believe, 44 billion. And they're sending most of the produce to the rest of Europe. It's absolutely inspiring what Netherlands has managed to do. And it would be great if we could do that, if we could actually have urban city farmers. Can you imagine that? That would be brilliant. And we wouldn't need to depend on produce from Europe. So it would be great that we could actually produce our own produce here in London.
Absolutely.
Gosh, lots. I was just thinking, what do you think? How do you think we sell ourselves? Thinking about tourism.
Oh, we're always a tourist hub. You know, we've got history. We've got history that goes back thousands of years, and people want that. You know, whether they're coming for a scone or afternoon tea, they love our royal family. Our royal family, attracts so much tourism.
Maybe not so much at the moment.
Well,
but-
no, I mean, still we've got incredible king who really
Yeah.
puts himself at the forefront in front of so many causes. And back to swans, he actually owns all the swans in the UK.
Yeah.
They're
Yes,
his.
yes.
And the geese and, all the other wildlife. So that's what's beautiful about our monarch is
Yeah.
it's something that when we have a wedding or a funeral, people come from all over the world.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, Helen and I at the moment, we're royal commentators as well,
Yep.
as you know. And
busy royal
we
commentators.
are getting inundated with Andrew, to
Yes.
say the least. Do you think that the stories that are coming out at the moment, is that detrimental to the country, or do you think it's just making more people aware of the royal family?
To be honest with you, I feel, he's an individual. Yes, by birthright, he is a prince, but I don't think it's damaging to the royal family at all because of the great work that they do. And they've done everything the right way, and they continue to do things the right way, and they're raising awareness to things that matter. And unfortunately, these scandals happen all over the world, in families, they happen in organisations, in businesses, and everything that the royal family has done to date has been impeccable. And I do not feel that should deflect from the great work that they do. And we need to stand by our royal family and, be by their sides in these times. And we shouldn't be pointing fingers at them, and we should be supporting the incredible causes that they represent and stand for. They've done so much in mental health awareness, even, our dear King and Catherine having cancer, they're cancer survivors. And, that just resonates with so many people who are suffering or have loved ones suffering, that they're human. They're actually human like us. And they're going through all sorts of things daily that we all go through. And I think that makes them more relatable.
Good to hear.
Yes.
Hear.
Absolutely.
That's what we want to hear. There's
Absolutely.
just been so many derogatory comments.
Long live the
It's-
king.
Yes, very good, very good. So, you've said it in a nutshell. I was about to say, so what next for Farah London? But you do so much anyway. I mean, goodness. But is there the sneaky something that you're hoping for?
I do have something sneaky, which I can't say, but yes, I do have a sneaky project. It's a secret project which nobody knows about.
Ooh.
But I will be announcing it next month.
Well,
Have to come back and
I
share
will.
it with
on the show.
us.
Come back
I
on the show.
will. I'm excited because
We like to hear sneaky secrets.
nobody knows about it. That's a great part. And so I will be announcing it next month, and it's something dear to my heart. So I'm really excited about it.
Well, we're pleased to have had you. So finally,
Great
again,
stuff.
how can people, unfortunately time has caught up with us again, how can people get in contact with you so that, they can interact with you?
I'm very accessible. If you just go to, I've got faralondon.com. So there's actually a mobile number on there, and you can directly reach me on WhatsApp or even call. And then there's also an email there. You can contact the email, or just go to one of my Instagram handle, MS Farah London. So yeah, I like to be contactable, and that's what politicians don't like to do. So that's one thing people really appreciated when I ran in my campaign. I was accessible, and I think politicians should be accessible. So I like to be contacted, and I do get members of the public reaching out to me and asking for help, and I always love to help them.
We'll come back next month with more
Thank
sneaky
you.
secrets.
I will.
Can't
Big,
wait.
I'll save the announcement for you. Why not?
Bless you.
We
Bless
like
you.
it.
Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank
the
you
show.
so much for
You've
having
been
me.
marvellous.
Such a
You've been
pleasure to
marvellous.
have.
Well, another
Show.
great show. I mean,
Absolutely.
it's been fashion orientated.
Very
It's
fashion.
been
Business,
incredible.
entrepreneur, brilliant. Philanthropy, goodness me. Everything. And of course, the royal news.
absolutely as well. So we've had another great week. Next week we're off on our travels, but we're starting again in November, early November. So, as always, thank you so much to everyone for coming on the show today. All our guests have been fabulous. And for me, Ian Pelham Turner.
And from me, Helena Chard.
Stay
See you
well,
next week.
stay happy, and we'll
No,
see you again
week
soon.
after.
Bye now.